Your results from Class 1 Berkshire Gilt. Congratulations. First, Steve King, Colorado. Second, Riley Kerr, Oklahoma. Third, Riley Joseph, Colorado. Fourth, Emma Tolley, Texas. Fifth, Mason Harris, Oklahoma. Sixth, Brandon Johnstone, California. Seventh, Caitlin Thompson, Arizona. Eighth, Ella Burns, Oklahoma. Ninth, Maddie Coates, Arizona. 10th, Martin Smithburg, Arizona. Now entering the ring is Class 2 Berkshire Gilt.
Good, how are you? Good to see you.
This will be first call, Class 3, Berkshire Gilt. First call, Class 3, Berkshire Gilt.
What do you have? And what does she have? She's just on short clothes. Do you have a cross too? She have a bear too. How'd you do in show check? Haley should have top 10. We can take a picture later.
Yes, ma'am.
And if she's not
It was so bad. We all just kind of laughed and slow people on the back. I was like, so stupid. It was so bad.
Am I in your way?
No, ma'am, you're totally fine.
She's really solid from the side. She's fresh up high. She's got a big arm. You know, we'd like to flex her better out of her hip and her hop, but just in terms of from the side silhouette, proportioning up out here and giving you a good balanced look, I think she does it about as good as any of the other ones out here that we had to pick from. The gilt that comes in 3 moves up the line for me just in terms of her functional skeleton. I think she's really sound and fluid in her movement. Like the head on her, maybe a notch better than a few of them other ones. Got a big arm, right length of body. I think her underline's just a little more appropriate than the gilt that's behind her. But mainly I just think she's a better built animal from front to rear when you start studying her coming and going than this gilt that comes into 4. The gilt 4 is the one that really attractive from the side, catches your attention right out of the gate. You start studying on this gilt though, I just gotta make her square and more true to herself when I get right in behind her. And as she comes at me, I like to stouten her up and just give her a shot more forearm and front foot there. But that one's got a beautiful silhouette, got a beautiful back laid in her. Young man does an absolutely awesome job getting her maxed out today. The one that comes next, really a neat looking gilt here. There's got some quality to her. And we just thought she kind of got outpowered, outsized. Wonder how big that thing's going to ever get. Just a little low set in relation to her length. Kind of throws off the proportions out here. And then you start studying her at the ground, maybe just like to stouten her up in terms of her rear leg bone. But that one's got a good back laid in her. Gayleen does an excellent job getting her drove. She's really got a youthful, neat look from her shoulder forward there. Just got to make her bigger and kind to move her up any higher. This is a gilt here that we like. We just have a hard time getting a real good read on her. She's kind of being a knucklehead out here for this young man. Doesn't really want to get out and go. I really like her from a forehip back. She's got a great hip length and good hind legs. Coming at me, I just like to pry her open there at her knee, give her a little more dimension to her chest. But just one there that we'd like to see get out here and go a little more comfortably, especially out of those front 2. Then we get into gilt here, same kind of scenario, really good from the side. Got a lot of depth and body and broodiness to her. Just gets too closed up, coming and going. To move her up any higher for us, just like to spread her there down low through the base of her skeleton. Real nice, broody, stout gilt coming next. Kind of throws her off from the side when you start studying up top of her pole. The way that she's kind of configured in her skeleton just gets a little awkward up there through her shoulder movement. Then we get a really nice gilt that comes next here that's still got some quality, just a little awkward in her angles of her skeleton, especially out of the front shoulder there. The young lady's done a great job getting her to this point. And we end with a gilt there that just simply needs more to her today. A really good pattern type of home. Real nice class there. Congratulations to all you kids.
Your results Class 2 Berkshire Gilts. Congratulations. First, Emerson Hoster, California. Second, Jack Brixey, California. Third, Clayton George, California. Fourth, Colt Mello, California. Fifth, Haley Avery, California. Sixth, Caleb Otto, California. Seventh, Kay Shodekman, Nebraska. Eighth, Rebecca Rogers, Pennsylvania. Ninth, David Brixey, California. 10th, Rita Felix Baez, Arizona. Now entering the ring is Class 3 Berkshire Gilts.
Now we got We'll be here for another 4 hours.
Where they live? They were just in the class. Well, they breed a lot. So like, they're showing like Little Meat Sisters.
Sales on Sunday.
The sale? No, the sale for mom.
There's nothing.
The barrels.
So it's just a third oldest thing.
If you were first, second, or third in the first two classes of Berkshire Gilts, we need you in the makeup area.
Pictures for
Top three. So
Well, here in this last class of Berks, we felt it come down to this trio, and you can do them a lot of different ways. For us, the kind of fresh body, fresh back, one young man here in this pink shirt really probably opens as good up through her chest as anything. This trio here, and just has some dimension to her still and some freshness up high. One there that still handles her hind leg good and square. And I think that's how she goes ahead and wins this class. From there, the young man with the stout gilt is going to be second. Really like her dimension up high. I got to fix her in her knee as she comes right at me. Her cannon bone there wants to be set inside the inside of her knee as she comes right at you. Just got to fix that, square that up. Just like to see her take a little longer step. a little more comfortable step out of that hip as well. But I thought there was just quite a bit more substance and density to her than the gilt we end with in 3. Really good silhouette type gilt. Got to change her head. Got a little beakier head on her than I like to see in these things, but one there that too, her head kind of matches her structure, just gets a little flatter and narrower all the way underneath there. But in terms of pattern and design from the side, this levelness, that one's really good. Really leaves you with a big fat hind leg that you gotta like about her for sure. The gilt coming out 4 is the other fresh back, big bodied one there. Gives up quite a bit in terms of bone, especially when you start studying her rear ankle there, all the way down to her foot. Thought she needed to square up a notch better as she leaves this. The one that's real fresh back, fresh body for sure. Gilt coming next is a real dense one there that we just gotta make go better off of both ends of her skeleton. It gets a little choppy out of the rear end there. Just wants to kind of be a little more timid out of the front shoulder. But a gilt that's got a good center to her there and got some dimension as well. This gilt coming next is one, a really big arm type of gilt that's loose in her structure. Gets a little long in her body and kind of takes away from her look out here in terms of balancing from the side. I just like to give her more depth of flank, kind of progressively deepen from forward to flank. I think would help her look out a notch better. Just give her a shot more length of bone. Then we end with 2 of them here that just need more muscle, more width to move up any higher today. Congratulations to all of you at Berkshire.
Your results from Class 3 Berkshire Gilts. Congratulations. First, Luke Mello. Second, Stephen Shin. Third, David Stewart. Fourth, Olivia Nava. Fifth, Taylor Rowe. Sixth, Luke Mello. 7th, Gavin Kirby. 8th, Mason Greer. We are now ready to show for your champion Berkshire Gilt here at the 2023 Arizona National. Coming out of class number 1, congratulations, Jake King from Colorado. 2nd, Riley Fuhr. 3rd, Riley Joseph. Coming out of class number 2, congratulations, Emerson Hoster in California. 2nd, Jack Brixey. 3rd, Clayton George. And out of your just completed class number 3, Luke Mello of California. 2nd, Stephen Schick. 3rd, Ava Stewart. These are your class winners here in your Berkshire Gilt division. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Your breeding gilt judge this year at the 2023 Arizona National is Mr. Nick Hofschulte from Wyandotte, Oklahoma. Nick judged at Connors State College and has judged numerous county, state, and national shows across the country. Nick has been involved with livestock production his whole life and currently assists in operating Hofschulte Genetics and is the co-owner of Primo Feeds. He and his wife Holly reside in Miami, Oklahoma, along with their 4 children. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Nick Hofschulte.
Well, we've seen quality all the way through the Berkshire drive here in the Gilt Show so far, and I think for us it's kind of a 2-horse race. And of those 2 of that pair, I think there's one that's just a little longer hipped, a little longer in her step. Really got the bone that we're looking for in the look, and brings it together in a super fresh package. Young lady out of middle class.
Your champion Berkshire Gilt comes out of class 2, Emerson Hostert of California. That'll drop in Jack Brixey for reserve contention. First call, class 1, Chester Gilts. First call, class 1, Chester Gilts. Also, a quick reminder, champion and reserve breeds need to head to the pins on the south side of the ring for DNA collection. Champion reserves.
bring out the second in that class. Really like that gilt's body and her freshness and her look from the side there. Gets a little straighter in her hop than we deem ideal, but one that really gets in a mix as we get her out here amongst these other three. There's another one we thought that's just a little more like our champion in terms of her pattern and build and her look. Really heavy bone, gives you that clubby look that we're kind of trying to make these days. Just a tall-fronted individual, big arm, stout skull type of gilt. The young man out of the first class here is
Your reserve champion Berkshire Gilt belongs to Jake King of Colorado. That'll drop in Riley Fuhrer of Oklahoma for third overall. This will also be the second call for Class 1 Chester Gilts. Second call, Class 1 Chester Gilts. Your third overall Berkshire Gilt belongs to Jack Brixey of California. That'll drop in Clayton George for fourth overall. Your fourth overall Berkshire Gilt belongs to Luke Mello of California. That'll drop in Stephen Schimm for fifth overall. Your fifth overall Berkshire Gilt belongs to Riley Fuhrer of Oklahoma. That'll conclude your Berkshire Gilt show. You're in Class 1 Chester Gilts. The class is about to enter the ring. Class 1 Chester Gilts. The class is about to enter the ring.
You're not blocking from you. Come on, guys.
Class 1 Berkshire Chester Gilts are entering the ring. This will be first call for Class 2 Chester Gilts. First call, Class 2 Chester Gilts.
Do you have a sprayer we can use? A sprayer? Yeah, for the backdrop.
Yeah.
Alexis, Diego. We just need the backdrop. We'll get the backdrop.
That's fine.
Thank you, Diego. I literally
These chesters with the Illinois Chester Queen here in the ring with me. We think it comes down to this pair in this particular class, and just smoothness of presence kind of sorts these two for me. Just the way this one transitions all throughout her body, she's a notch smoother than the Gilts in second. Just a little longer hip, maybe takes a little longer step off of her rear tooth. I just think she's just a bigger hog out here that gives you a fresher look too about her skin maybe and through her body. But that one's big armed, really square, really balanced type of a gilt there that gives you a feminine look still. The gilt that comes in second is the one that pushes her. That one's maxed out up top in terms of her shape. Got a really big hind leg working into her there. It's a little different in terms of hip length. And the way that she proportions from the side isn't quite as good as that class winner, just in terms of her length and her height and the way she balances. Mainly just that hip and the way that tail's a little shorter, sets way up high there, takes away from her look compared to our class winner. The gilt that comes in three is the other high quality one in this particular class in terms of her look and her presence. Really big arm. Didn't think she handled her hip and her hind leg quite as coordinated as those top two, especially when you start studying from her hop down. Wants to get a little more rigid and upright. That rear toe doesn't quite as function as quite as exceptional as those top two in this particular class, but one there that gives you the right kind of look. Young man here's got this one presented to a T. She's got the extra hair that we talk about. Really big arm type of a gilt. It's got a big hind leg. Just thought she was the most challenged off of both ends of her skeleton when you start studying her coming and going away. But that one's got a great look from the side, a really big ripped back leg into her there. Just question how sound she is as she leads me and comes right at me. Another really good gilt here that's got function, got a good set of feet and legs laid into her. Gives up quite a bit just in terms of total dimension when you start studying her out here compared to them other ones. Then we end with a pair of them here that just need some more time. They're just a little higher and drier in the rib today compared to the big girls. The ones there that can get better with time for sure. Congratulations on a really good class of Chesters.
Your results for Class 1 Chester Gilts. Congratulations. First, Little Haven, California. Second, Gadsden Jervis, Oklahoma. Third, Lindsay Galbraith, North Dakota. Fourth, Green Florence, Colorado. Fifth, Colts Burns, Oklahoma. Sixth, Ainsley Marietta, Arizona. Seventh, Cody Hendrickson, Kansas. Now entering the ring is Class 2 Chester Gilts. This is the last class in this breed, so if you were top 5 in that first Chester Gilt class, we need you in the makeup area. Top 5 in the first Chester Gilt class, we need you to stick around in the makeup area, please.
But I really got an outlier in this last class of Chester. It's just one that gives you a beautiful look from the profile, and the young lady's got a fit, absolutely maxed out, really big hind leg laid into her there. Good dimension through her forearm and her heart. Really like the way that she puts it together. Like to change her vulva shot, the way that it's shaped, but it's getting awfully nitpicky on a really high quality animal. The other feminine functional one out here is this young lady's Gilt here. Really big backed, and one that might not be quite as fit in terms of skin and hair, not quite as big in terms of her hind leg, but just in terms of function and presence from the side, looking like a female. She's the next one that needs to be second for sure. Really got a terminal type of Gilt coming out next. It's really big in terms of his skeleton, in terms of bone, really big arm, a big hind leg. Got to tone him down a shot just in terms of his muscle. Gets a little round in its pattern. Needs to move more straight forward, less side to side. Another Gilt here that comes next is packing a lot of heat in terms of muscle. Just got to make her a little more correct, a little bigger in her kind. To move her up any higher today. But another really functional type of Gilt comes next. It just gives up quite a bit in terms of width and bone out here, but a Gilt that is a shot more functional in terms of feet and legs. I just thought she gave up quite a bit just in terms of true width. Then we end with a pair of them here. Again, just need a little time to come on and flesh up. Just a little skinnier today in their overall presence, but hogs that have quality to them. Young people.
Your results are Class 2 Chester Gilts. First, Emma Hampton. Second, Zoe Lucasek. Third, Brooks Lindley. Fourth, Charlie Aldridge. Fifth, Sadie Gano. Sixth, Gage Deering. Seventh, Dexter Villacena. We're now at the drive for your champion, Chester Gilts, here at the 2023 Arizona National. Out of class number 1, congratulations, Will Hagan of California. Second, Gadsden Jarvis. Third, Lindsay Galbraith. And out of the just completed class 2, congratulations, Emma Hampton of Arizona. Second, Zoe Lucasek. Third, Brooks Lindley. Please put your hands together for our class winners here in your Chester Gilt division.
Well, super high quality pair of Chester Gilts out here to pick your champion from for the Arizona National. I think there's one of them that just offers a little more coming and going, a little more my kind in terms of the stoutness of her skull and her pecs as she comes at you there through her chest. Gives you a little more punch there, right through her chest and her sternum. Young man out of the first class, congratulations.
Your champion, Chester Gilt, belongs to Will Hagan of California. That'll drop in Gadsden Jarvis of Oklahoma for reserve contention. We would also like to recognize our sponsor for the top 5 prizes for both the Berkshire and the Chester division, Andrea Moreno. If you would please give them a round of applause. First call, Class 1, Duroc Gilts. First call, Class 1, Duroc Gilts, the makeup area.
We dropped the second one out in that class, and I really like this Gilt just in terms of her dimension and her cubic inches that she offers. Massive hind leg. I think she's a notch more like our champion, just in terms of her width and in her internal dimension, right there in her heart and her forehead. Leaves you with a little more power there through the seam of her hand. She's going to be a reserve. Congratulations.
Your reserve champion, Chester Gilt, comes out of Class 1, Gadsden Jarvis of Oklahoma. That'll drop in Lindsay Galbraith with it overall. Your third overall comes out of Class 2. Congratulations, Emma Hampton of Arizona. That'll drop in Zoe Lucasek of Oklahoma for fourth overall contention.
They're in Montana.
Your fourth overall comes out of Class 2, Zoe Lucasek of Oklahoma. Will drop in Brooks Lindley for fifth overall contention. And your fifth overall, Chester Gilt, belongs to Lindsay Galbraith of North Dakota. That'll conclude our Chester Gilt drive. Class 1, Duroc Gilts, we need you in the makeup area. Class 1, Duroc Gilts, we need you in the makeup area.
Here.
really comes down to a pair in this class, and you can kind of flip a coin and do what you want, but I think the best skeleton one's the one that I start with. This young lady that here has just pleases me a little better from the side profile. Got a more youthful head on her, and I just like her quite a bit better from her forehead forward than the gilt that ends up second. I think she's a notch longer hip, takes a little more reach off of her hind too. I think just the set to her hind leg when you study her from the profile is more correct than the gilt that ends in two. The gilt that ends in two is the maxed out, really stout one, really big pin when you get in behind her there. Just wonder with all that mass, I'd like to give her a shot more bone and foot to match that at the ground. But that gilt has got the goods up high. She is really burly as she comes right through her chest. Wants to deviate there in her knee a shot. Just didn't find her quite as athletic out here at the surface as the gilt that goes ahead and wins. The gilt that kind of crawls up in here with just being the no-hole type of gilt is the 1 in 3. She's the smallest gilt in the top 5, but I think as you just break them down and study their structure, she needs to be in that top 3. One there that does have some bone in relation to her size. I think she's just a notch more correct out of the front end than some of these others on down the line. Just think in terms of quality and kind from the side, she needed to get up there in that top 3. This is a nice, good doing type of gilt here that's got some center dimension. It's pretty frail when you start studying her through her face and her feet and her forearm there. But that young man's got her looking right in terms of cover and condition out here. I think she's just a little more correct in the way that she handles the front end than the gilt that comes in 5. The gilt in 5, really, really heavy bone. I just got to make her more correct out of that front shoulder and knee placement, the way that her front feet hit the ground. Need to freshen her up a notch there in her body to move her up any higher for me. A nice gilt comes next here that's just got to be organized differently out of her hip. Kind of throws her look off from the side. But a gilt that kicks out and moves relatively well and has some muscle. Thought she just had a little more look to this gilt that comes next. Really just the kind of the fundamental type of gilt here that comes next. As far as her flank forward goes, got to fix her out of her hip and her hop to move her up. Then we just got some muscle and structure issues to work through in these bottom 3, but things are still patterned up good to catch a pin. Congratulations, good way to start the Durocs off.
Your results from Class 1 Duroc Gilts. First, Riley McDaniel, Texas. Second, Hunter Stevens, Arizona. Third, Madison Worley, Texas. Fourth, Parker Dressel, Colorado. Fifth, Cooper Gray, Oklahoma. Sixth, Ryan Allred, Wyoming. Seventh, Jacob Figuera, Arizona. Eighth, Matthew Hudson, California. Ninth, Addison Figuera, Arizona. 10th, Weston Merriman, California. Now entering the ring is Class 2 Duroc Gilts. This will be your first call for Class 3 Duroc Gilts. First call for the third and last class of Duroc Gilts.
Really like the pair that we land on in this class. We think that they fit pretty well together. The gilt that goes ahead and wins just offers a little more look than anything in this particular class. From her shoulder forward there, the way her neck ties out the top of her blade, it still really comes back with some shape out the back side of her blade. Got good length of hip, got a good bendy hind leg laid into her there. When you study it from the profile, it works and it does all the things it should. Opens her toe good, sets back on her heel and pushes forward in a good square way. Really like that gilt to go ahead and win this class. The one that's most like her from the sides, the gilt that ends up 2. Not as long in her hip, not as long in her rear step. Don't think she's got quite the size of hind leg as that gilt that goes ahead and win. But from her flank forward, they're very similar, and I think that's how she gets up to this 2-hole. The gilt 3, it causes some problems just because she does need to come at you better. That's the main issue with us. She's a little straighter up there at her knee and wants to come in right there at her knee as she comes directly at you, but she's really heavy bone, and I think she's just a little bigger than her kind and fit with those top 3 a notch better than the gilted 4. Thought she maybe just had a little longer hip and a little more of the right set to her neck out of her blade than this gilt that ends up in 4. The gilt 4, really dimensional, really square and wide, gives up quite a bit in terms of bone compared to those top 3. Just doesn't put herself together as well from the side. You start studying the way that her head comes out of her neck, just a little bit dished there, gets a little cresty up there, not quite as heavy bone. With all that mass that she has to offer, I just like to stouten it up, balance it up a notch better out here in this drive. This is another good gilt that comes next. Thought she gave up quite a bit just in terms of overall structural width. She wants to narrow as she comes from her front to the rear. When you get up on top of her, like to deepen her in her flank and just stout that body up to go ahead and move her up any higher today. This is a really cool pig that comes next, and if a guy wants to race some Durocs and get this one in the back or go on to a later show with, maybe could do that. She's really heavy boned and clubby. We thought she was too straight up her shoulder, maybe too round out of her hip, and just kind of got outpowered in terms of size out here. Really didn't fit, but she got some cool pieces to breed on for sure. The one that comes next is one that we just like to spread. Right as she comes at us, she gets a little higher and drier there in her body, and especially back towards the rear flank. But that's a good outline gilt. The young lady does an excellent job getting her drove today. Then these others, we end up with in this bottom 3. We just got some major structure issues to overcome. We got to put more bone in this one to move her up any higher. Front end in this gilt that comes next, but super fit. The young lady does an excellent job with her. Then the gilt we end with, really stout, heavy muscle, just needs more bone to go with it. Really good class of Red Hawks. Congratulations.
Your results out of Class 2 Duroc Gilts. First, Jaden Yoakum, California. Second, Shanna Slate, California. Third, Macy Taylor, California. Fourth, Hunter Stevens, Arizona. Fifth, Sadie Vieno, California. Sixth, Colby Gomez, California. Seventh, Emma Helberg, California. Eighth, Natalie Thompson, Arizona. Ninth, Sophie Hoffman, California. 10, Reese Woldenbarger, California. Now entering the ring is Class 3 Duroc Gilts. If you were in the top 5 of the first 2 classes of Duroc Gilts, this is your first call to be headed to the makeup area, please. If you're in the top 5 of the first 2 classes of Duroc Gilts, this is your first call to head back to the makeup area, please.
Sorry.
I just want everybody to know you can get mad at me if I don't use your pig this week, but I lobbied really hard for that 9 o'clock change, so you can be happy for that on my part. But anyway, we've got a real nice gilt to start this class. She kind of does the combination of things just in terms of being that stout outlier that still has a balanced look to her. Really like her hip length with that much power that she offers. Got a great skull laid on the end of her skeleton there. You know, we might want to just fix her a notch as she moves out of her shoulder, but just in terms of the combination gilt out here, she needs to go ahead and win this class. The one that closely follows her is this young lady in the green, one there that is the other dimensional gilt that's really stout in terms of her forearm and her rear leg. She wants to get too flat off both ends of her skeleton in terms of her foot strength, but I thought there was just so much more to her in terms of substance and width and dimension than the gilt that ends up in 3. The gilt that ends up in 3 is the loose, sound structured one of that top trio, but she is the narrowest of that top trio. I thought she flattened up quite a bit more there through her forerib and just her midrib and gave up quite a bit of bone when we compared her to the top 3. But she's the other good looking, high quality built one in that top 4 that needs to be in the 3 hole. The gilt that ends up 4 is really fresh centered. The young man does a great job getting her skin and hair ready for this event. One there that just gets a little rounder coupled all the way through the way that her makeup is. When we start studying her shoulder and her hip and her rump, but a really dimensional gilt there to end up in 4. The gilt that ends up 5 is really tall fronted, really big arm, got good shape, short back and proportional, gets too short in her hip, too short in her step, kind of wants to pound them things really hard as she goes away from us there in the way that she uses her rear leg. This is a really functional kind of no holes type of gilt here that I thought just gave up too much when she comes at me, and when you get over the top of her, I just like to spread her when she goes right away from me. There at her hop, but that gilt's really good from the side. We just got to give her more structural width down low to move her up any higher for me. Real good fresh gilt here. It's fresh centered, loose structured, runs out, gives up quite a bit in terms of foot and bone when you start studying her lower part of her skeleton. This is a gilt that I think we would like a lot better, you know, earlier on in life. Just gets a little stale out here today, but still really good in terms of her pattern and her kind. This gives up quite a bit in terms of width and dimension. And we got a gilt here, same kind of story, just kind of over her peak, over her pinkness today. This gilt we end with, real fresh up high, just gets a little too narrow gauge when she comes at me. Like to change her head and give her a shot more bone. Really nice class there. There's quality all the way through that class. Let's give these kids a hand.
Results on Class A Duroc gilts. First, Kaylee Weber. Second, Jenna Freitas. Third, Grace Curry. Fourth, Diego Lofton. Fifth, Sammy Cole. Sixth, Lauren Tadman. Seventh, Barbara Simon. Eighth, Ellie Nelson. Ninth, Jaylee Burke. 10th, Tanner McGuire. We are now ready to drive for your champion Duroc gilts here at the 2023 Arizona National. Coming out of class number 1, congratulations, Riley McDaniel of Texas. Second, Hunter Stevens. Third, Madison Forward. Coming out of class number 2, congratulations, Jaden Yoakum of California. Second, Hannah Slate. Third, Macy Taylor. And out of your just completed class number 3, congratulations, Kaylee Weber of California. Second, Jenna Freitas. Third, Grace Curry. Please put your hands together for your class winners here in your Duroc gilt division.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our champion, sponsor for the champion Duroc gilt is Small Town Genetics. Reserve is Tipsy Gypsy Clothing, and Third Through It is sold in supply. Thank you to our sponsors.
out here, and for me, it does, you know, the guy can make a case for any of these. I think, to me, there's one that just looks more like a generator than the others. You start studying her head, just the barrel rib that she offers, and just the way she's built from top to bottom. You know, she's not perfect by no means, but to me, she's the one that offers us a high-quality female look that looks like she'll go on and be one of those kinds of generators. Help me congratulate this young lady out of the last class.
Your champion, Duroc, belongs to Kaylee Weber of California.
You're good. You should
That'll drop in Jenna
Size
Freitas
17 was
for
good.
reserve contention. Just a reminder, both champion and reserve need to head to the holding pins on the south side of the ring for DNA collection after being named. This will be first call, Class 1, Hampshire Gilts. First call, Class 1, Hampshire Gilts in the makeup area.
There's a lot of good. I think there's another one out here that to me was offered more ESTs than any of these other three that we have to work with. Absolutely deadly from the profile, big back, great look from the side. Young lady here on our middle is going to be our reserve.
Belongs to J.D. Yoka from California. That'll drop in Hannah Slate for third overall contention. Overall, Duroc Gilt belongs to Riley McDaniel of Texas. That'll drop in Hunter Stevens for fourth overall contention. This is also your second call for Class 1 Hampshire Gilts. Second call, Class 1 Hampshire Gilts. Your fourth overall, Duroc Gilt, belongs to Jenna Freitas of California. That should drop in Grace Curry for fifth overall. And your fifth overall comes out of Class 3, Grace Curry of California. That'll conclude our Duroc Gilt show. Class 1, Hampshire Gilts, your class is about to head into the ring. Class 1, Hampshire Gilts, we need you up to the makeup area at this time.
Thank you. You guys do.
It's going.
Just walking around. See what's happening.
This show shut down during COVID, and Oregon found a way to run so we went most of the big shows that make good.
He's just chill. Hopefully he sleeps tonight. He's shining like a
Class 1 Hampshire Gilt is entering the ring. This will be your first call for Class 2 Hampshire Gilts. First call, Class 2 Hampshire Gilts.
Better than you do. I know how to go around and say.
Next is one a lot like the gilt ahead of her, just really shapely, really robust. Got to fix her as she goes away from me. I thought of those top end, she was the most difficult to read when she went right away from me in terms of squareness. Just got to square her up, make her more sure-footed off of her rear too. It's a really good built type of gilt here that comes next. It's got a lot of feminine feature to her. Thought she gave up quite a bit just in terms of substance of bone, and especially when I get behind her in terms of muscle than those ones that were ahead of her. Another heavy muscle gilt there. Just got to be better off of her rear too. Got to balance better from the side to move her up for me. Then these two we end with are good quality hogs. Just need more to them to play in this particular class.
Your results out of Class 1 Hampshire Gilts. Congratulations, Elena Pereza with first. Second, Tash Backman. Third, Gadsden Jarvis, Oklahoma. Fourth, Connor Correa, California. Fifth, Sutton Simon, California. Sixth, Maria Ramos, California. Seventh, Kinsey George, California. Eighth, Colton Dunaway, Arizona. Now entering the ring is Class 2 Hampshire Gilts. If you're not up here, your class is entering the ring. Jaden Yoakum and Cade Godekin, your class is entering the ring at this time.
Well, if you're interested in purebred Hampshires at all and breeding them, I urge you to look into this ring right now because you can go a lot of places and not find the kind of quality that we have in this particular Hampshire Gilt class. And it's really pretty unbelievable. I think we've got a pair of them here that's kind of split hairs, and I think the one I go ahead and use is just a little sounder and just so good from the side in terms of her proportions and her balance. Really good right here behind her shoulder in terms of her heart and just the girth she has to her barrel. One there that, you know, not quite as big muscle from behind as the Gilt that's in second, but just so hard to make them like that in this particular breed. So smooth and so effortless in the way she handles herself out of here. I think she needs to go ahead and win this particular class. This Gilt that ends up second, no slouch at all. I mean, she is the big muscle one that is extremely maxed out up high when you get in behind her. She's got bigger toes and bigger spread than the Gilt that ends up wins the class. Not quite as stout and neat about her head, maybe a little pointier nose than I'd like to see, but mainly just the straightness that she brings off of both ends of her skeleton is how she gets beat, in my opinion. But that is one hard to make Hampshire female that takes a lot of generations to get them that good. Young man here at 3's got an exceptional one too. He just kind of gets into a stinger hornet's nest of a class. This is a Gilt that can win a lot of classes, a lot of different places. She's bow-chested. She's very good in the way she's configured from her flank forward. We just got to fix her from her flank back. She gets out-powered quite a bit when you get in behind her and study her stifle and her center there. But that's a really good bow-chested type of Gilt. It's got a really good traditional Hampshire head on it. The Gilt that comes next is another one that's got a lot of quality. Very, very sound-footed. Very, very fresh up high. Thought she run out of bone compared to that top 3, especially in her rear leg. Not quite as neat out of her hip maybe as those others, but that one is fresh and ready to fit. Very, very sound for a Hampshire Gilt. That's another thing that's super hard to do. The other Gilt that comes next, another one that's got a lot of quality to her. I think she just got challenged out here in her movement. That's why she ends up in this particular placing. One there that's really stout, robust up high. Just gets too short in her step off both ends of her skeleton. The Gilt that comes next is another one that I pinned right off the bat because she is good. I mean, she's big body. She's very good from the side. I think she just gives up quite a bit in terms of bone and feature right at the ground when you study her in her feet. And she's working with that flank thing on her other side that kind of takes away from her look. But maybe just not as much true muscle and bone in that hole as those ones that are ahead of her, but another really good Gilt. Here we come down into 7. We still got quality. We got mass and body in this Gilt. Just really runs out of bone is why she gets into that placing there. Then we end with another Gilt that a lot of times will be up at the top end of the class, just not quite the look and presence of those others in this particular heater of a class. Congratulations, absolutely awesome Hampshire Gilt class.
Your results from Class 2 Hampshire Gilts. First, Cade Gobecken from Nebraska. Second, Sammy Cole. Third, Mac Walker. Fourth, Ainsley Erickson. Fifth, Jaden Yoakum. Sixth, Emma Helberg. Seventh, Parker Simon. Eighth, Mason Wolfenbarger. We are now ready to show for your champion Hampshire Gilts. Coming out of class number 1, congratulations, Yelena Barraza from California. Second, Cash Backman. Third, Gatson Jarvis. And Class 2, Cade Godecken from Nebraska. Second, Sammy Cole. Third, Mac Walker. Please put your hands together for your 2 class winners here in your Hampshire Gilt division. Congratulations, your champion, Hampshire Gilt, belongs to Katie Godekin of Nebraska. That'll drop in Sandy Cole of California for reserve contention. Attention in the barns, if you have a Hereford or Tamworth Gilt, regardless of class, this is your call to get up to the ring at this time. There's only 8 of you, so you need all 8 Hereford and Tamworth Gilts to the makeup area, please.
Forget about being quiet. You don't want to look at her shoulder angle. Mark.
In kind of 2 different types. I think there's one that just more closely resembles our champion in terms of the way she balances from the side. You know, not quite as clip jointed when you get right in behind her, but one that's so balanced and so clubby. Young lady here out of the first class to be reserve.
Your reserve champion, Hampshire Gilt, comes out of Class 1, Elena Peraza from California. That'll drop in Cash Backman for 3rd overall. Your 3rd overall Hampshire Gilt belongs to Sandy Cole out of Class 2. That'll drop in Mac Walker of Oklahoma. Hereford and Tamworth Gilts, we need you in the makeup area. Hereford and Tamworth Gilts, we need you in the makeup area, please. Hampshire Gilt belongs to Mac Walker of Oklahoma. That should drop in Ainsley Erickson for 5th overall contention.
All right.
Overall, Hampshire Gilt belongs to Ainsley Erickson of California. That'll conclude your Hampshire Gilt show. Hereford and Tamworth Gilts, this is your last and final call. Hereford and Tamworth Gilts, this is your last and final call.
We start off our TAMs and Herefords here with a class of 4, and I think the young lady in the pink needs to win this class just for having the wide, stout, powerful one here that still patterns up and balances relatively well. The young lady with the other TAM appearing gilt is going to be second there. That just like her pattern and design, a notch better than this Hereford Gilt here. Hereford Gilt's one that's got some substance and center. Just like to pick her up on her front feet, balance her a shot more correctly. Then we end with this gilt here that's got some design to her and some shape. Just needs more structural width to play within the top 3. Congratulations to all 4 of you United class.
Your results from the first class of Hereford and Tamworth Gilts. First place, Bella Herrera of California. Second, Frida Felix Baez from Arizona. Third, Caleb Hackbart, Nebraska. Fourth, Kylie Hackbart, Nebraska. That'll drop. We're now ready for the second class of Hereford and Tamworth Gilts. This will be your first call for Landrace Gilts. First call for Landrace Gilts to the makeup area.
Really nice pair at the top of this class. We think the big gilt just offers a little more substance and a little more quality in the way she handles her rump and her hop and her rear foot there, just a notch squarer as she leaves us from hip hop to ground. The gilted ends up second, really cool from the side, really love her from her flank forward in terms of her shape up high. Just gotta make her a notch more correct in the way she handles her hip and her hind leg compared to our class winner. The 2 that we end with here, real similar in type and kind. Thought this one was a little nicer balance from the side. Gilt we end with, got a lot of substance, just need to make her better in her lines. Congratulations, nice way to end these.
Your results from the second class of Hereford and Tamworth Gilts. First, Haley Avery, California. Second, Graydon Warren, Colorado. Third, Lily Wilson, Kansas. Fourth, Riley Fuhrer, Oklahoma. We are now ready to drive for your champion, Hereford/Tamworth Gilt here at the Arizona National. Coming out of class number 1, congratulations, Bella Herrera of California. Second, Frida Felix Baez. Third, Caleb Hackbart. And out of your just completed class number 2, Haley Avery of California. Second, Graydon Warren. Third, Lily Wilson. Please put your hands together for your class winners here in your Hereford Tamworth Gilt division.
We get our 2 class winners out here. We feel like we have one that we can go ahead and use and say that she's a pretty placeable champion. The young lady out of the last class is going to be our champion.
Your champion, Hereford Tamworth Gilt, belongs to Haley Avery of California. That'll drop in Graydon Warren for reserve contention. Landrace Gilts, we need you in the makeup area, please.
Bring our second out of that class. I thought they were pretty similar in type and kind. To us, she's just got a little more genuine shape and look. She's going to be our reserve. Congratulations there.
Your reserve belongs to Graydon Warren of Colorado. They'll drop in Lily Wilson for 3rd overall. And Lily will have your 3rd overall, Hereford Tamworth Gilt. That should drop in Riley Fuhrer for 4th overall contention. And your 5th overall comes out of Class 1. Congratulations, Bella Herrera of California. Excuse me, 4th overall. That'll drop in Frida Felix Baez for 5th overall contention. And your 5th overall comes out of class number 2. Congratulations, Riley Fuhrer.
Good job, bud.
Nice Gilt to start this Landrace drive off with, and I think she just does so by being the wide, powerful one out here that, you know, still is good enough on her feet and legs. Got good shape up high, got a good look from the side there. Just a real nice way to start off this particular class. The young lady here is 2nd. Is going to be the one that pushes her for me. That's a really big arm, the one that comes at you good at the ground there. And I think she just offers us a little more bone and just heart and center than the Gilt that we have in 3. The Gilt in 3 is one that's big, shapely, kind of a Gilt, really good up high on top of her blade there. I thought she was just a little tighter in her forerib, a little frailer in her bone work than that Gilt that was in 2nd. This Gilt 4 got a lot of muscle, just need to construct her better from the profile to move her up any higher. Really good class, really nice way to start out the Landrace.
Your results out of the first class of Landrace Gilts. Congratulations, Brady Frame, topping it off. 2nd, Jaylee Hoffman. 3rd, Brody Burns. 4th, Cooper Johnstone. Now entering the ring is the second class, the Landrace Gilts.
Someday I'll be like Kyle.
The judge in the middle say.
I think it comes down to the top pair, and of the top pair, this gilt here just handles the ring with more comfort as the drive goes on. I think her hip length allows her to do that in terms of the way that she can bring it forward and push it back in a longer, more fluid motion. The gilt second, no doubt, stouter. She's the bigger armed one, stouter headed when there. I just think she gets a little too challenged on both ends of her skeleton out here in terms of motion. The gilt in 3 here is one the guy could move up. Just thought from the silhouette, she rounded out of her hip quite a bit, gave up quite a bit in terms of bone and just overall structural width compared to those top two. And then we get down there in that bottom 3 of that class, the young lady that comes out next is one that's got a lot of muscle. Just gets a little rounder in her overall makeup, especially out of her hip. Gets a little frailer there in her bone line as we study her up against those top 3. The 2 we end with here, just pigs that need to be freshened up and have more structural width and just more look to place any higher for me. Congratulations, all of you. Nice way to do it.
Your results of the second class, the Landrace Gilts. First, Karis Datson. Second, Ruth Datson. Third, Riley Burgess. Fourth, Madison Mulry. Fifth, Mason Wolfenbarger. Sixth, Brady Kern. We're now ready to drive for your champion, Landrace Gilt. Coming out of class number 1, congratulations, Brady Frame of Washington. Second, J.A. Hoffman. Third, Brody Burns. Coming out of class number 2, congratulations, Kara Statson of California. Second, Drew Dadson. Third, Riley Burgess. Please put your hands together for your 2 class winners here in your Landrace Gilt division. This will also be your first call for Class 1 Poland Gilts. First call for Poland Gilts. Your champion Landrace Gilt is sponsored by Turquoise Dream, Reserve, Sullivan Supply. Thank you to our sponsors.
Easy, Brady.
We get pick from a nice pair for each champion Landrace, and for us, there's just one that is more correct in her angles off of her rear too, and just more comfortable out here. Young lady out of the last class, congratulations.
Your champion Landrace Gilt belongs to Kara Statson of California. That'll drop in Drew Dadson for reserve contention.
I'm gonna switch lives for a couple
Poland Gilts, all Poland Gilts. We can take you in the makeup area, please. All Poland Gilts into the makeup area, please.
For reserve, I think there's one that's just a little more ideal in terms of the organization of her skeleton from the profile, especially that man on the first class.
Your reserve champion Landrace Gilt belongs to Brady Frame of Washington. That'll drop in Jaylee Hoffman for 3rd overall. Jaylee will have your 3rd overall Landrace Gilt. Congratulations. That'll bring in Brody Burns of Oklahoma for 4th overall. And your 4th overall Landrace Gilt belongs to Drew Dadson of California. That'll bring in Riley Burgess for 5th overall contention. Your 5th overall Landrace Gilt belongs to Riley Burgess of California.
Real nice gilt that we just pass off with. This young lady here has got one that's just the best balanced in the class. Still has enough width, really good bone type of gilt. Really good, easy place to start in this particular class. Young lady that ends in second here, we thought just probably have a little more grow in her and a little more doability in terms of just skeletal size. One here that's really big back, just runs out of bone compared to our class winner. Need to clean her up there in her undercarriage and shot as well. The gilt that comes in 3, really just a stout, kind of a dense gilt, really good. Thought she was a little small and kind and just maybe a little rounder in her makeup than that gilt ahead of her there. But one there that we might just like to square up a shot as she goes away from us. But it's type of gilt. The gilt that comes next is one that just needs spread open to move her up any higher, but got a good design to her. These two we end with, real similar, just kids that need freshened up, need more structural width to move up any higher today. Good class, good goes off. Congratulations.
The results out of the first class of Poland Gilts. First, Zoe Lucasek, Oklahoma. Second, Cambria Kane, California. Third, Allison Schultz, Oklahoma. Fourth, Melanie McMichael, Arizona. Fifth, Allie Messengill, New Mexico. Sixth, Riley Lynch, Arkansas. Now entering the ring is the second class of Poland Gilts.
Nice trio up here at the top, and I think this young lady here just kind of moves her way up just by being really square built from top to bottom. And I think she's the most correct in terms of her lines from the side and the profile. If you start studying her hip and her hind leg from the profile, she's got the best length of hip and center or hop there of anything in this particular class. Young lady that's having fits here is going to be second. I like that gilt right out the gate. One there that maybe wants to come at you and not really open up quite as good as that gilt that wins. Going away, we got to make her snouter there from pin hop to ground to move her up today. The gilt there that ends in 3 is one that's big bodied and robust. Just kind of runs out of bone when we start studying her forearm and her knee and her front foot there. I thought she was the most challenged off of both ends of her skeleton in the way that she moves out here. But he's got her looking right and does a great job getting her presented today. The gilt that ends in 3 is, or in 4 is one that's a big, broody type of gilt. It's really big armed and stout. Just having a harder time getting a look out here. Just kind of wants to hang her head and not really show herself off. But I just like to give her a more genuine muscle shape when we get right over the top of her and just study her over a blade. It's a nice gilt that comes next, just like to freshen her from the ground up in terms of her skin and hair and just her body condition today. But that's a really nice built type of gilt there that ends up in the 5-hole. Then we come into some structure issues in terms of shoulder and knee here coming out next. Then hogs here at the end, we just like to beat up in terms of their look from the profile. Real nice class, good way to end the polls. Congratulations to all you kids.
Your results out of the second class of Poland Gilts. Congratulations. First, Lily Wilson. Second, Peyton Davis. Third, Aiden Ashbrook. Fourth, Caleb Otto. Fifth, Madison Woolry. Sixth, Braden Stewart. Seventh, Jasmine Martinez. Eighth, Jordan Blankenship. We're now ready to drive for your champion Poland Gilt here at the 2023 Arizona Nationals. Coming out of class number 1, congratulations, Zoe Lukasek from Kingfisher, Oklahoma. Second, Cambria Kane. Third, Allison Schultz. And out of your just completed class number 2, Poland Gilts, congratulations, Lily Wilson of Maple Hill, Kansas. Second, Peyton Davis. Third, Aiden Ashbrook. Please put your hands together for our class winners here in your Poland Gilt division. Our sponsors are Wild West and Sullivan Supply for this division. Thank you.
We get both our class winners out here for champion. We're both in agreement. There's one that just kind of stays truer to the pattern that we've set down today and what we like and what we're going to use in terms of density and balance. Get laid out in first class. Congratulations.
Your champion Poland Gilt belongs to Zoe Lukasek from Oklahoma. They'll drop in Cambria Kane for reserve contention.
Bring the second out. Big, shapely, good-looking gilt. Just needs a shot of bone. For us, reserve here is this young lady out of the last class. Congratulations.
Your reserve champion Poland Gilt comes out of class number 2. Congratulations, Lily Wilson. That should drop in Peyton Davis for third overall contention. And Peyton will have your third overall Poland Gilt. Next out will be Aiden Ashbrook from New Mexico. And Aiden will have your fourth overall Poland Gilt. That should bring in Caleb Otto for fifth overall contention.
There's like this little one in the making here. I was actually.
Caleb Otto Caleb Otto, we need your color China Gilt in the ring, please. And your 5th overall coloring gilt belongs to Caleb Otto from California. Congratulations to those exhibitors. We are now ready for our first class of spot gilts. If you're in the second class of spot gilts, you need to be in the makeup area at this time.
Because I really first started show, you know, I introduced all the time.
then like I don't want him like.
Really an elite three spot yields, but we've got one out here I think that needs to go ahead and win. Just really an outlier in some areas for this particular breed. Really soft-footed on her rear leg there and plants and pushes and opens that toe right. Really got a nice pliable shoulder laid into her and still got a good rib shape when you get up on top of her there. Real nice place to start the spots out with in this particular class. The young lady on the far side's got one that's really tricked out. I mean, got an awesome look from the side, real big and chiseled up high, got the extra hair and the extra look. Didn't think she was quite as just pliable in that rib in terms of dimension to her center there. Didn't think she was quite as correct in the way she handles her hop down to her rear foot as she leaves me, but that one's really neat to look at from the profile. So one here that gets up in there, just for being kind of no holes. She's got muscle, she's got width and bone. Really got a good look from the side in terms of her pattern. Didn't think she was quite as neat from her shoulder forward as those two ahead of her, but she just gets a little rounder in terms of her pattern out of her rump and the way that she leaves me out here in terms of her muscle. The gilt coming next here is one that's just not fresh enough to move up in that top three. Just one that gets a little rounder in her makeup, a little coarser in her joints. But that's a gilt that's really big bone and got a lot of dimension to her. And I thought she just had more center, more bone and substance in this gilt that comes next. The gilt that comes at 5, really good from the profile, really sound out here in terms of her rear leg function. Gives up quite a bit though in terms of bone and just width out here when we study her compared to those ones ahead of her. Here's another gilt that I think just needs some time and we'll like her on down the road. Just pretty straight off the rear too to move her up any higher in this particular class here, but just needs some time to come on and soften up. I think we'll like her better on down the road. This is a gilt here that's got a lot of dimension, just gets a little more ordinary in her look, especially up through her head and her throat there. But that's a gilt that's got a lot of production to her. This is another gilt that just needs some time to come on with some flesh. Got a lot of bone and shape though to her. Congratulations, now go ahead and start the spots.
Your results out of the first class of spot gilts. Congratulations. First, Ella Blinkley, Idaho. Second, Piper Bullock, Colorado. Third, Roxanne Coates, Arizona. Fourth, Isabella Nunez,
Well, mine's got
Oklahoma.
chocolate in it. That's why I
Fifth,
pushed them away from mine.
Allie Messingale, New Mexico. Sixth, Kylie Hackard, Nebraska. Seventh, Kristen Blake, California. 8th, Caleb Hackard, Nebraska. We are now showing class number 2 spot gilts. If you are in the top 3 of that first class, we need you in the makeup area with 4th and 5th on standby. This will also serve as your first call for class 1 Yorkshire gilts. First call for class 1 Yorkshire gilts.
I think just keeping them square and true to themselves, how we place this class. This young lady here has got the best structured one that still has enough width and muscle for us. You know, she's not the freshest thing in terms of her skin and hair in the world, but just studying her bones and the way that her skeleton's put together, she's pretty problem-free. Balance is good, pattern's good from the side. Got a round rib cage laid into her there. I think she just offers us more forearm and more rear leg than the gilt that ends up second. The gilt second, really tall fronted, neat-headed gilt that's got a long front end. Kind of works against her for me, and I just like to stouten her up right there at the ground, especially on her front foot in terms of that ankle right above her pastern there. Just give her a notch more bone to fit with her mass that she offers us. This is the one that kind of caused some problems for me coming out 3 because I really like her from her shoulder back. She's probably my favorite just in terms of center body dimension and squareness from pin hock to ground. But if you can get away from that neck and that extra stoutness up front that she does offer, she probably wins the class for you. But we thought of those top 3, she was the most moderate in terms of her frame, and that worked to her disadvantage. And we just kind of question whether she's big enough and kind, and just need to neaten her up through her pole and through her throat there to make her go ahead and win this class or be second. The gilt 4 is one that we like in terms of her chest width and her rib shape that she offers. It's a little awkward the way that her neck ties into her blade right there, and the way that she transitions back into her foreloin. We got to pattern her up and just make her more correct in her lines, top and bottom, to go ahead and move her up any higher. This is a really nice fit, well-presented gilt that comes next. The young lady does an excellent job getting her presented. She's got square shapes. She's got a big square blade in her. She too just gets a little more awkward. I think her hip is higher than her shoulder, and it throws her off of balance out here. But that's where she needs fixed for me. This is a really good design gilt from the side here. Just gets too stilty off both ends. We got to free her up in her motion and the way that she moves out here. If we can do that, we can move her up substantially. So the gilt that comes next is one that just gets too wide behind for me. The one that's got a lot of product working in her. Got a lot of center dimension for sure. Just need to fix her and square her up better off of both ends. Then these 2 that we end with just need more muscle to play up any higher. Congratulations to all of you. Nice class of spot.
Results out of the second class of spot gilts. First, Ava Miller. Second, Lily Reeves. Third, Riley Erdman. Fourth, Julius Cervantes. Fifth, Marissa Rawls. Sixth, Holden Peelman. 7th, Kaylee Trindade. 8th, Grady Kern. 9th, Tanner Kane. We are now ready to drive for your champion spot gilt. Coming out of class number 1, congratulations, Ella Blickley from Idaho. 2nd, Piper Bullock. 3rd, Roxanne Coates. And out of your just completed Class 2, first place, Ava Miller from California. 2nd, Lily Reeves. 3rd, Riley Erdman. Please put your hands together for our class winners here in your spot gilt division. Your champion is sponsored by State Bridge Suites. Reserve is sponsored by Sullivan Supply.
Two really good individuals that are pretty similar in their silhouettes. I think there's one for me that just offers more spread and dimension, probably more of a chance to make a champion show bear on down the road. Young lady out of first class, congratulations, you're a champion.
Your champion spot gilt comes out of class number 1. Congratulations, Ella Blickley from Idaho. That'll drop in Piper Bullock from Colorado for reserve contention.
Really like that Gilt's look that comes out in the second in that class. You know, is she quiet? It's a lot of difference here in size, and I think this Gilt's got a lot of guesswork in her still. I question how pliable her hind leg is and how true she stays as she goes right away from me. I think my next favorite one in the spotted breed today is a young lady out of the heavy class. Congratulations to you.
Your reserve comes out of Class 2. Congratulations, Ava Miller from California. That should bring in Lily Reeves for third overall contention. And your third overall spot gilt comes out of Class 1. Congratulations, Piper Bullock. That should drop in Isabella Nunez. Excuse me, that should drop in Roxanne Coates from Arizona. Your fourth overall spot gilt belongs to Lily Reeves from California. That'll bring in Riley Erdman, who was named your fifth overall spot gilt. Congratulations to all of our spot gilt exhibitors. Class 1 Yorkshire Gilts, your class is about to head into the ring. Class 1 Yorkshire Gilts, your class is headed into the ring. Class 1 Yorkshire Gilts, we need you in the makeup area. Class 1 Yorkshire Gilts, we need you in the makeup area now.
You got the
Real nice place to start this class and start the Yorks off. This young lady in the blue over here has got a really good individual that's just a little extra stout than these other ones in terms of her foot and her bone. Still gives you a good look from the side there. Nice place to start in this class. The young lady here in second's got the next sound-footed one. For me, I think she's just more correct in her structure on her hop to the ground compared to this gilt that ends up in 3. One there that's just not quite as robust as our class winner. Definitely not as heavy bone, but I think just in terms of functionality and pattern and kind, she needs to go ahead and be second. The gilted 3 is one that's very, very dense, a really short-backed gilt that's got a good look and pattern from the profile. We just got to fix her as she goes away in terms of squareness and comfort out here to move her up any higher. Same goes for 4, really similar to our gilt 3. I just didn't think she had quite as much bone, especially when you study her on her rear leg. Thought her hip was a notch shorter, but the young man's got her very fresh and fit. You gotta appreciate that for sure. Same goes for this 1 and 5. Young man's got her maxed out, looking right out here. I love this gilt from the flank forward. It's a shame her hind legs aren't square enough to put her up any higher in my mind, because that one's really good from her flank forward. You just got to square her up from behind to move her up any higher. Then we get into some hogs that just need some look and some width to them to move them up any higher. Just hogs that need more muscle in 8 and 9. Really good class, excellent class winner.
Your results from Class 1 Yorkshire Gilts. First, Jessica Lentz from Oklahoma. Second, Toby Hyler, Oregon. Third, Mason Harris, Oklahoma. Fourth, Diego Lockton, California. Fifth, Hunter Stevens, Arizona. Sixth, Cooper Johnstone, California. Seventh, Kyrie Wood, Arizona. Eighth, Katie Rowley, Oregon. Ninth, Grady Benedict, Arizona. Now entering the ring is our last class of the day, class number 20, Yorkshire Gilts.
Well, the Pro Gilt, it's got Jake Austin is helping them, but the Pro it was big time. Like I would like to be able to do something with it, and we've talked about it before, but it gets.
Did they ask you to come like walk through classes before contests, like state finals?
He has people all the time.
First call. 3 champion remaining reserves. This is your first call.
It's awesome. Like,
Really nice, classy Yorkshires, and we try to put these things together at home, and it's not easy to make them this good, I promise you. And we've got outliers in all 3 of these, and it's just kind of where you want to put your priorities. I thought the most complete one that offered the most ESTs, young man here to my left. I think there's just more hog there, more dimension. And then when you start just talking about totals, I think her length from her shoulder forward's better. Her length to hips definitely better. Then when you get behind her, she's got a lot more product from the top of her hip down to the top of her hop there where her hop and stifle hooks up. She's just the robust one, the complete one. The totals of these other 2 out here, to me, in terms of their design, from top to bottom and from side to side. The young man here has got a really outlier in terms of hair and look and just being that clubby outlier out here. I think she's too short in her hip. She's too high in her twist when I get right in behind her for me. But that one's got a lot of pieces that we can utilize for sure. Just one there, I'd like to lengthen a shot out of her neck, especially there at the top of her pole. But you talk about a tall-fronted, short back, big-legged, hairy individual that needs some attention. That one will get it on sale day, absolutely. The one here that ends in 3 is one that's really got an awesome hind leg. Really got that hind leg I like to see that plants and pushes and drives. She's the pieciest from the profile. You study her lines, especially up high from the pole back to her rear tail there. Just has the hardest for me to get the pattern up out here. Then when she comes at you, she wants to knee in a shot. That's a really productive Yorkshire female that's going to make a great sow for somebody on down the road. Really good gilt coming out here next. The young man's got fit to a T, super maxed out just in terms of shape up high. Real short back, real good bladed. Gets a little short in her hip. When you get right in behind her, I think her left ham's just a notch bigger than her right. She wants to take a hitch step as she comes out here. We can fix that. We can move her up significantly higher. Maybe just dealing with a little injury there or something. But that one has got the right pieces from the side. I mean, that raptor look out of the front end is really boxy and dense. Just like to change her when you get into this kind of heat. She needs to be better going away from me. Then we come into another one here that's really good in terms of her dimension. Thought she was just a notch square built, sounder than the gilt that ends in 6. This one's really dimensional through her center. Gets too short in her hip, gets a little more ordinary up through her front end there. Not quite as maxed out in terms of shape, but one there that's very good in terms of the fundamentals. Just another gilt here that does have more shape. This thought she was more challenged in staying square from the top of her skeleton down to the ground. That's why she ends up in that 6 hole, but really good. He's got it looking right. Let's congratulate these kids. Excellent class of Yorkshire females.
Your results out of the last class of Yorkshire Gilts. First place, Brady Frame of Washington. Second, Will Hagan. Third, Macy Timothy. Fourth, Carson Mendoza. Fifth, Madison Stagner. Sixth, Grayson Warren. Seventh, Valley Joe Pearson. Eighth, Holden Pillman. Ninth, Layla Yorkshire. 10th, Kayla McNall. We're now ready to drive for your champion, Yorkshire Gilt. Out of class number 1, congratulations, Jessica Wentz from Oklahoma. Second, Kobe Hyler. Third, Mason Harris. And out of class 20, Yorkshire Gilts, congratulations, Brady Frame of Washington. Second, Will Hagan. Third, Macy Timothy. Please put your hands together for your class winners here in your Yorkshire Gilts.
We bring your 2 class winners out here in quality for sure in both of these. I mean, there's just one that offers more dimension. Got that generator look about her head. Covers the ring very effortlessly. Has good dimension and shape. Young man out of the last class.
Your champion, Yorkshire Gilt, belongs to Brady Frame of Washington. That'll drop in Will Hagan for reserve contention. That award was sponsored by Small Town Genetics and Sullivan Supply.
We bring the second out of that class. That's a true outlier in this breed in terms of what she has to offer. I think she's got a little more dimension right behind her shoulder and her heart and in the center part of her body. She's my second favorite one in this breed. Congratulations, young man.
Your reserve champion Yorkshire Gilt belongs to Will Hagan of California. That'll drop in Macy Timothy.
I felt bad. I'm like, you could go. Yesterday, I swear I had like the littlest piece of shavings in my hand that would never come. Like all day I was like, I go in the bathroom, it's annoying.
Your third overall Yorkshire Gilt comes out of class 20. Congratulations, Macy Timothy of California. That'll drop in Carson Mendoza. Breed champion and reserves, we need you in the makeup area. Breed champions, reserves, and third overalls be in the makeup area. Your fourth overall Yorkshire Gilt belongs to Carson Mendoza of California. That should bring in Madison Stagner for 5th overall contention. All breed champion, reserve, and third overalls, we need you in the makeup area. All breed champion, reserve, and third overalls, we need you in the makeup area, please. Madison Stagner, we need you in the ring. Madison Stagner, we need your Yorkshire Gilt.
But every weekend they're like, you see this? And it's like a lifelong. And then what do you do?
Madison Stagner, we need your 5th place Yorkshire Gilts back in the ring. Madison Stagner, we need your 5th place Yorkshire Gilts back in the ring.
Between the Great Western Red Wave and Western Red Angel. So it's if I'm almost positive that's how it is.
Because I felt like there was one like on Northern Exposure too.
There may have been.
Yeah, I don't know.
We need all 3 champion, reserve, and 3rd overalls in the makeup area.
That I was like,
All the breed champion, reserve, and 3rd overalls in the makeup area. If you are 4th or 5th overall in your breed, please be on immediate standby.
I was just like,
And I mean, it's good in the sense that they get to show up. But I found it, I was like, it was last year. There was so much special change. I'm like, I know that one. Like, what go we do? I get that money. That's what was
just hit the ones you can.
And your 5th overall Yorkshire Gilt belongs to Jessica Lentz of Oklahoma. That'll conclude your Yorkshire Gilt show. In just a few minutes, we will start our grand drive. Emerson Hostert of California. Reserve, Jake King. Third, Jack Brixley. Your champion Chester Gilt was driven by Will Hagan of California. Reserve, Gatson Jervis. Third, Emma Hampton. Coming out of your Duroc division, congratulations, Kaylee Weber of California. Reserve, Jaden Yoakum. Third, Riley McDaniel. Your champion Hampshire Gilt was driven by Cade Godekin of Nebraska. Reserve, Yelena Peraza. Third, Sammy Cole. Your champion Hereford Tamworth Gilt belongs to Haley Avery of California. Reserve, Braden Warren. Third, Lily Wilson. Your champion Landrace Gilt belongs to Karis Datson of California. Reserve, Brady Frame. Third, Jaylee Hoffman. Out of the Poland China divisions, congratulations, Zoe Lukasek of Oklahoma. Reserve, Lily Wilson. Third, Peyton Davis. Your champion spot Gilt was driven by Ella Blakely of Idaho. Reserve, Ava Miller. Third, Piper Bullock. And out of your just completed Yorkshire Gilt division, congratulations, champion Brady Frame of Washington. Reserve, Will Hagan. Third, Macy Timothy. Please put your hands together for your breed champions out here at your Arizona National. Your Grand Champion Gilt is sponsored by Small Town Genetics and the Salt River Project, and your Reserve is sponsored by the Salt River Project and Staybridge Suites. Sorting through your Gilt show today has been Nick Hofschulte from Wyandotte, Oklahoma. He judged at Connors State College and has judged numerous county, state, and national shows across the country. Nick has been involved with livestock production his whole life and currently assists in operating Hofschulte Genetics and is the co-owner of Primo Feeds. He and his wife Holly reside in Miami, Oklahoma, along with their 4 children. Please put your hands together for Nick Hofschulte, our judge of the 2023 Gilt Show. Along with his associate judge, Jenna Wheeler.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to sort through your Purebred Gilts today, and it's been really fun doing it with Jenna, bouncing ideas and thoughts off of her as well, and I just really appreciate it, the opportunity to be here to judge your Gilt show, and it's been a fun day. Hope you guys have had fun. The weather's been amazing, and one thing I'll leave you here with at our Purebred show, you know, Purebreds, we still need to utilize these things, and I know it's a lot different than it used to be many years ago, but not very long ago. You know, we were making champion belted bears that were blue F1 sows that had Yorkshire mothers, and then make those blues and breed them back to belts and make champion belted bears with those. And these pures need to be utilized for a breath of fresh air. And there's some of them that are just getting so good these days. And never forget, you know, Daryl Anderson, former CEO of the NSR, he said that whenever we quit keeping records on hogs, it's just going to turn into a horse and pony show. And so we need to be mindful of that, and be mindful that it's important to keep records on these things. We think it's there's 3 or 4 of them a guy could really get into and tie into for your champion pure Gilt. There's one of them out here we just think looks extremely expensive. Really looks like she'd come to win, and is an outlier, a true outlier for this breed, one that suits us extremely well. I'll go out here and slap your champion purebred.
She's happy, ain't she?
grand champion, Purebred Gilt, belongs to Kate Goodeckin of Nebraska. That'll bring in Elena Pereza for reserve overall contention.
I've called your phone like 10 times.
It's charging over there. Sorry. You need a tracker on me.
Microchip.
We bring out that reserve hamp and talk about her proportions and her bone, and that hamp drag was so deep. I think there's another one out here that really came to play, and you know, has that barrel look about her, and just so square from top to bottom and true to her skeleton. Really got a good shape coming out the back side of her blade. I think she's a little more trendy at the top side of her neck than another one out here. Our second favorite one today is the young man's Yorkshire. Congratulations.
Your reserve champion, Purebred Gilt, belongs to Brady Frame with the Yorkshire. That should bring in Will Hagen from California.
Well, it's been real fun. Obviously got to do showmanship earlier today, and it's been a blast getting to sort through things with Nick, and we've had good conversation and got to have fun. He's obviously one of the most respected ones to do it, so I appreciate the opportunity to be out here with him. The skill show, it was really good, and so I give you guys kudos for that. I thought there was one that came out early and was very good for her particular breed. Big in terms of her feet, awesome in terms of her hind leg, maybe not as neat in terms of her front 1/3 as the ones ahead of him. Young man Chester's going to be third out. Congratulations to him.
Your third overall, Purebred Gilt, belongs to Will Hagen of California. That should drop in Gatson Jarvis of Oklahoma for fourth overall honors.
You're doing great, Karis.
Your fourth overall, Purebred Gilt, belongs to Emerson Hostert of California. That should drop in Jake King for fifth overall. Your fifth overall, Purebred Gilt, belongs to Elena Pereza from California with your reserve Hampshire. That should bring in Sammy Cole. Mac Walker, please bring your Hampshire Gilts up to the ring. Mac Walker, we need your Hampshire Gilts in the makeup area.
Me too.
It's very interesting.
Or she got water.
Your sixth overall belongs to Will Hagen of California with the reserve York. That should drop in Macy Timothy. Your seventh belongs to Macy Timothy with the third overall Yorkshire Gilt. That should bring in Carson Mendoza from California. The gilts that are currently be selected will be in the sale. We need the 4th and 5th overall Yorkshire gilts to the ring, please.
How many are they doing?
I don't know if it's 10.
It's 10, then I don't think I
Well, you gotta get.
Just a reminder, these gilts that are currently being selected will be in the sale tomorrow night at 6. Your champion Duroc Gilt is your 8th overall purebred. That belongs to Kaylee Weber of California. That should bring in Jaden Yoakum from California.
No.
Your 9th overall belongs to Jaden Yoakum from California with her Duroc Gilt. That should bring in Riley McDaniel from Texas.
His homeless is the norm.
It's just like all the tweakers and parts.
Your 10th overall Purebred Gilt comes out of the Berkshire division. Congratulations, Jake King of Colorado. That should bring in Jack Brixley from California.
Sarah, I admire your breeding. Kara was telling me that you're a breeder, French breeder, and like, but when she was like the braids, we don't do that. We do Did you?
Yeah.
I think it's like one of those things, like a language of promoting it. Because like I really have watched YouTube, like kind of practice on her. I just can't get it.
Was it for me?
I got a compliment on how good I did on your hair today. I got a compliment. Just leave it.
Oh.
Good job.
It was so good she thought I did
You
it.
got it from your mama, huh?
The stubbornness? I think that's what right out. I don't think she
The braiding from you, huh? They say the oldest daughters are like your dad. That's what my oldest daughter, or the oldest and a daughter, and they're prone to be more like your moms.
I don't think she did anything like at all. We never debate at all. Pretty complicated.
Here's next, I got a good kid. People were paying attention, I'm sure.
She's still showing.
I'm sure she got a handshake. She didn't get an announcement, but she got a handshake.
If you would please put your hands together for all the Purebred Gilt exhibitors and our judges that have competed this afternoon.
Walk and pose.
Way to be ready, sis. Way to be ready.
Just a reminder, we will start tomorrow morning with Crossbred Gilts at 9 a.m. We will start the Crossbred Gilt show at 9 a.m. The exhibitor breakfast will still be at 7. These are your top 15 purebred gilts that will be in the sale tomorrow evening. The sale order is to be determined after the conclusion of the Crossbred Gilt Show. Your champion purebred gilt belongs to Cade Goodecking of Nebraska. Reserve, Brady Frame, Washington. Third, Will Hagen, California. Fourth, Emerson Hoster, California. Fifth, Yelena Peraza, California. Sixth, Will Hagen, California. Seventh, Macy Timothy, California. Eighth, Kaylee Weber, California. Ninth, J.D. Open, California. 10th, Jake King, Colorado. Your 11th overall belongs to Sammy Cole with her Hampshire. 12th, Ella Blickley, Idaho with her Spot. 13th, Zoe Lukasek, Oklahoma with her Poland. 14th, Haley Avery, California with her Tamworth. 15th, Kara Statson, California with her Landrace. Those top 15 gilts will be in the gilt show tomorrow evening. Gilt sale, excuse me.